Neat etiefo nyina ozioma ADAKABRI nie oribo bebie
the kan wa ben no
yesi okwan tware asuo ena asuo tware okwan panyin ne hwan a yebo okwan betu asuo ozioma ADAKABRI FRIMPONG MANSO wagina konya bebie
Yamama Trasio na Yamama ha Yefri Neat 100.9 FM so and it's a ye ba manaswe ojefo bosome na yewomi ni de toso duonu miensa afi empinu aduonu emienu ma me se donko apemu meet ba kokora abetoso 131 na awia ye tena ase a me manti o man nti o na me nu nyina ye hwehwe se yedie betumi aba na asem no kura yetumi ate ase yie ya fra me ADAKABRI Mahmudu osioma na me producer panyini kwadwo da me ado ani se wode masi abontene na watwetwum se koliko badi fafa bonkum na yede kro me opase ma jero sageman agusu ebutu asante dwaben oya ahoboa se efiada ebei na nana wasageman ewo dwaben na watweda ebedi tabiaku ne taduamu ba ene majare osai ageman me opase prekope na no akire no na eye abnafrema bankro wano so na technical production is in naso social media handles nyina wo hwede amaye on Facebook live Neat 100.9 FM live on Facebook and also ubasa ko Despot Media on YouTube na nyina wa prepare ede ato ehonum ono and wo streaming ama ye nyina so yetimi akọ online na ya hwe de ekro na wano akire no so no na nana ya safo ono so no ebema fefe obo eye technical production no echidom nana kwefri ye enso so no oba tentene ai hantani ba wono so atena se a obua said ye betimi ahwe atoto enoma yemfa dampama engineering group achuago worker watiakwa de najare nana abuaje ada sankroma nso yesa ne mrane se sempro na pay your facilities for no so no big solo ai ana dada ana yaw ana Godfrey dodo no afre ne Ubrana ana aye Mapuna ana DJ Bosco na meals nso ya saremrane se tete na wahunu se bibia ebekọ ade aman ene so no nsema ya brobro so no na watimi ahwe betimi a WhatsApp ye on 0506000909 0506000909 na ene ya tena se so no honorable member for Dom Kwabenya Mami Sarah Adwasafo ene obie bonidini unim nasem pa se edie pa ni Sarah Adwasafo wono nso so no nasem ene Mami Adwasafo yeseyo na Adwasafo anye ni seyo na Adwasafo anye ni seyo Adwasafo unim nasem pa unim de ha no awiei de wunu yana na ka kire ne se ADAKABRI Mahmudu ono na bedwudwam Adwasafo de ha no noma mako dumienu noma mako dumienu awiei yedwudwam noma mako dumienu seda bia na one side na Adwasafo de ha Adwasafo pa no unim obi aka kire wo awiei tie me ADAKABRI Mahmudu wosioma mia so na meba be ka kire wo na mako dumienu no ba ko pe na ye confidential migusu ni madwene di noma mako dumienu ba ko pe na etwetwema so se yenise anase yenise esoso nyame na be ma kwankire no uko social media and Adwasafo uko TikTok and Adwasafo uko newspapers and Adwasafo wunim Adwasafo nasempa se boy sabi ohwe hano and Adwasafo ye de wo ye no ade na wo mu Adwasafo enedue and na was Adwasafo duru Ghana ha na no ya wada enkomo ben and the finance minister eni Adwasafo adie na himpo na mpesa Adwasafo bebenti ayakosa de nyina finance minister wie bibia a chese inano ya wada wa wie bibia Adwasafo lande ne na de ne yase mu no de kuremu nkonua no titie no maku do me no baako pɛ de ne madwene die a no de dem me asat se me no ka sei e maasem de betu dwa dem ebeba because osa adwasafo so no Ghana fo hunu ne constituents dom kwa benya oso mu hunu ade a adwasafo ha no abehunu so obia so no utie wi a na waka se waye wadwene anytime de ama no 050 600 0909 050 600 0909 na enoma no a eno nso so eya adwasafo so nasem no ye wi a yasan de polling nasan de atoso se nei eya amanyoku MPP sigina ye so mo recall ya adwasafo a na by election ba na nipa no a ye de ne be kwako replace adwasafo no wano ne akuruguru ekogina fine na be wini e wodom kwa benya awie so eno so abetodwa a ye be ka ho asem polling no aminikan na de democrat ahodo ensa kan ye no the Ghanaian Observer ene wa ha no say AJ ICE MPP national chairman position say AJ former foreign minister former member of parliament Joso and say ni chairman so obedibi government rallies Ghanaians to support E-Levy information minister and also what can say abano etu anamon ta enipa bi yeden ebeboa ama E-Levy no yetimi ahwe na aba daily analyst appear to become a modern community ene biano a explosion ba ya enipa bi afri mu no minister Samuel Abujinapo mines minister or say ebe modern community ebesi SEC ho ade ama wo mu eyiye so na the Herald the Wakrata ono so was saying oh come on Akufu Ado preserves Adwa Safo's ministerial job for her 8 months after dubious leave of absence. Can Japan only interested in her legislative duties 8 months. I say we do the paper remove we entrench na emuaye ho pa ma no I say 8 months after dubious leave of absence. Editor, what's it saying? 8 months after dubious leave of absence. I wouldn't hear how what that bear man. I could that bear man. You put to great such a near quack in surgery. Now your mother. Ubatanasiaka say, me banwa yakwa in surgery. Me tna say, or one tna never then I could die papa baby. I could die my means so energy. Na yes me ba ni ko to dwe na yekoya me ko ni ba ko to dwe surgery abo president amane and wabo chief of staff amane se me ba no the hospital or sorry be drew Ghana has be na wotwe me no ansa na osan koya kwada ye ne surgery otetete ho akwala ne se wonim sa kwada ni ko to dwe ye ne surgery ana na address of me fa we ntrenchen na dita se wo na kasabiaku chese wo fa ase na ka hey ene 12 points no adwasafo yebetie informa the Democrat and also so ade aba was huge recruitment scandal. Health ministry busted. Health professionals must cough up 7,000 to secure placement. Say NA nurse for 2019 for na ya place wo no yes hu sika gigye bi na ye ka ho asem ai the upper Ashanti regional uka 4,000 unya bedu Ashanti so wie na o pese yemfa nko specific hospitals so a uka 4,000 alright the Ghana for you just say region no upese ye do ba region say Accra regional ya make say ye do akoto Savannah and as me pe Greater Accra ye you free Savannah ho e do aba Greater Accra no uka 4,000 what baby do Greater Accra now say me per specific hospital way uka 4,000 and ye can want me Daily Searchlight incorrigible co-canta and ono so odi aba betumu was say is the cedi officially the worst performing currency in the world and obuso the Ghana yesika cedi no and no any the worst performing currency in the world and asembusa and now the Dr. Addison if to the tour. The find that the Democrat and so any was a court to rule on Utah strike March 9. Utah where and they yes university for no or mungo school and yes a so now you know near the ABC mumian near the ABC. Chiefs sway voters during elections. CDD and ever can say him for one to make us endorse way no one nipa bit me dear chile say what Hennessy saying no na ya dear fahon musa. The insight the Democrat was say Ghana's day of shame, 56 years of the overthrow of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. February 24. February 24, 1966. And Kwame Nkrumah. Into February 24 no. Na Yawada. A China February 24, Yawada. It would say a super pepe. Yawada February 24, 1966. And you too, Kwame Nkrumah. So and as 56 years later, no, Akwakosi Yawada, February 24, 2022. Aye. Amapian Ghanaian Chronicle. Aye. Klibe Queen Brofo. The Chronicle got it right. Court hooks up a bongo boy arrested by police for allegedly dealing in illicit trafficking of arms and munitions. Aye. So Janibiso and I say, court. I pay bibi dia butu no so ni nyina no say endeja oton akodie eni ntonton dispute over Boteman land Trasaco floors Woodfields at Court of Appeal. Trasaco and say nei Boteman sase no wufri tem e bana du committee 18 junction one joining motorway no we right ho nyina akonyina ye Boteman sase e de bana ye nunwa farms nyina Boteman what dinner there so nunwa farms when you know about Boteman Sassy, and say, Nedia, Trasako ni Woodfields. And foreigners now beg you know one Sassia, and to question you on them, and him for no agent, a bigina, nebigina has say, Boteman Sassy, or say, Trasako, and Nestor Tericuni, but Dimkunim, Woodfields for Esso. The publisher was say, Afenyo Markin endorses rejection, public expenditure probe. Kwame na Afenyo Markin. And was it said Joe Seusu? Was say Carifurata and Kuntan were booted at that. Uko here budget in womb. Let's Joe Seusu, or who the entire once I'm a Quaiman Kunta Yabuni that another money. Yes, Uncle Buni Pima, Afenyo Markin so swasum. Aye, Ajuasafu. Yeah, Ajua. Was say, Kennedy Kwabia come to Japan. When you like Asafu Simin Kanchila say. So we choose between Oba when any one mammy and any on your core Afenyo Markina. Was you at it? Was you one mamma ye beer? So we say, who no one mammy and now we say, who be feeling a cheat. I got Kwame Afenyo Markin because or your young quan one go who take. I'm in Japan. I said, I don't know. Daily Statesman, and what the other? What's he saying? We need sustainable energy plan. Vice President of the Republic, Dr. Mahamudu Alhaji Bawumia, and I work and say, or say, here, papa, say, you benya energy planner, Ebebwa. New crusading guide, and I was Adiaba. Bawumia's clarion call to ECOWAS stakeholders. Plan for transition from fossil fuels to renewals. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, and was a biblema toya has say, Yansha no maybe a year. Nti wono de waka akyerɛkyerɛ mu ade akyerɛkyerɛ empanifu a ɛwɔ West Africa ha sɛ yɛnhwɛ na fossil fuels no a ɛma emissions akɛse higher no na yɛnkɔ renewable energy. Dr. Bama Umia ano Vice President of the Republic asɛm a ɔno so waka no. Daily Post Michael Dokosi was say if spreading false news could land you in jail, Akufo-Addo should have been first culprit. Phyllis Pachi Ofusu Anna Onososo Ode Atumusano. Chief of Staff gave me 120,000 cedis to give to Adjuasapo for her to come to Parliament. And a year to Kennedy Kwame Akompre kwa Japan. Kennedy, I come tie me. Wabanis what they say no him such as Aquadano, Wabusa baby Adiano, and now would the baby as he can go back with you. What's it then when him says I would just say, oh, a bind and Kakatiana, one, Nisikan and Nisikan. It was a Brantian as man, a man of this kind of fidelity, no, Katia Brantian was uncle fidelity for no Munis Caramano. What do you know what himself with Bano? But Aqualana this Caramano. Aqualana the Busa baby idea, and I promise you Aquadano, and I can't say Upa bank details, and you are coming at the man war, and I wouldn't say Caracoto. Now you are no, what you see, now would you $120,000 cities at the Amauba? Would the money we have there? Come here, come break Japan. Was the idea, say chief of staff, was if Sasma, Nipano, Suma, no more this can go to one. Safra, Fresa Brantiano, sooner, Nakacha and say, once I'm going to Sicano, no, the idea, no, himself, Bana woman is car. Hey! And then 12-point resolution. And then, Ebeba. Daily dispatch. And now what they can say, Canada, Japan cautions a Kufuado. I will trouble if you continue to pamper a Dwasafo. Ah, well, yeah. Come here, come break way. Without Roma, and why any near? Was it? What do be pampano? Name mum, but Dano and you to drink. Na a bar say a young horse in your surgery, or catch the Ghana man penny, no catch the chief of staff. And now almost cheers here, a man extended leave, no. Say, young should not quadana seminal, young shen can read. Come here, Japan, say nobody's been country the war. Aye, eating a cracker, a baby, but Maku. I come, and we have me chill, baby, I will be. Delegate a contract one was a Bogger MP stripped, surface 3 defeats in court, and also so no, I as enough MP, and somewhere I want to say, or no so. And some crocodile court no Sanswam I happy and judge for no etna so. And a publisher bill was say address for sacked. Hey, Massa dear no. Now no ya wadan komwa. A finance minister didn't dear. Ya be biada. I was what touching now and there. I feel this is CHS. So namu say wo namu as someone say. Obian communicated to ye yinedi. It would tell us soon. Near fan 7 in a young famra. Hey, Mamma Sarah. Daily graphic neka say, was UTAC suspend strike. Lectures start Monday. Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. They almost say a Chinaya wada. And almost Miami Wafasi, Kukua, Wabesneko. And rate to remove Asene North MP. Supreme Court order substituted service. Say ye pay Asene North. Mashobe na yetimi a 7 no. Ni nyina say afedi ye semfa bi nkobona boboano. Ni emfa bi sonko daily graphic mo. After 7 days it will be deemed say wahunu say ye hwehwe no ana ya sama no. The Ghanaian Times and was say UTAC suspends strike for 2 weeks. UTAC almost do Martin Zambia say na sabre we omone education ministry eso ebe tita waswe na address afun sense mu nyina baako eyedu mienu baako pe na asiyet min hunu se be kan na menka na tie na die wo mu nyina no na yenka mfa nkyerɛ because address afun so no die hano no die wonu mu no I was say Ghana 40 hunu na Ghana 4 hunu se eye sushefra no yemfa mua so hunu na yehunu said the assembly besi akọ gusuneti need 100.9 FM ubetimi so was apoyen on 0506000909 0506000909 nana kuya mo abuati on Facebook live and what they eba no o say good afternoon Father Kabre and afi so no saving buachi o say good afternoon dear host Stephen Buachi Ewa Wase Kropon or say Sam George should stop worrying the MPP and allow the party to take its decision concerning Adwasafo absenteeism. Tasuna Hernandez Fidel Hayford or say good afternoon host happy midweek and wade Abba happy midweek or the Fritadi Kwesimin team or we cannot compare Nanado's administration to that of incompetent John Dramani Mahama because Nana gave us water, light, tax for free for good 6 to 9 months. A cholera killed in 2014. There's about even soap, JDM, Sasoso, and Yahuza. Was it the rate at which the price of crude oil is increasing is affecting the price of goods and services? And Odeba, Eric Kwekubuedi, was it the truth is that H. Nanado is working harder to move Ghana forward? Nanado Chenebua on Facebook Live, was it good afternoon, ADAKABRI? Was it the West MPP is far better than the good of NDC? we need Honorable Efri Yakoto to succeed Nanadu to break the 8. Probia Santi Kotoko Kofi was a good afternoon. I wonder why the NDC wants to use hypocrisy in the handling of the E-Levy issue. Asaso and Comments Appeal 2. UTAC, thank you for coming. Let's fix Ghana together. And in Shraba and Nelka, and so no, with the Flashama constituency. Whatever. Guzinati need. Now, I just have for 12 points, you know. Yes, now, Yamfa, enum, say.
Yanu me bibrime. Yenya kofa tu yesuo. Etu esi bema bo. Okunkunim kofa ejina ne so. Akwara padi kokwe hu ededa mana ekire no. Yeah. Adeshiamra kroma dansidi fo mehwe kasemu kira awawade esumu apai mo hre nya kwa pie awawasem nie we die bi si pen yeah Neat FM yamamwa kwaba
Neat 100.9 FM sunye na ene ukuada na ojefo bosome na yewumi ne de toso aduonu emiensa mienhwe di kan busa se adwoasafo honorable member of parliament for dom kwabenya okura wonim nasem de ewomu ade na achechire so ayeka 8 months yi so hwe herald obokrata anymore say Akufu Ado preserves Adwoasafo's ministerial job for her 8 months after dubious leave of absence. And Japan only interested in her legislative duties. And just a president of the republic, Nana Danko Akufu Ado, but the Adwoasafo Adjuma Ato at the train. A brabo swimming what we Anyana, you say a man of breast, one conquer here, and go to BB. Honorable Kwame Compre kwa Japan dear. As Adwoasafo ne mnashe bedwa adwuma wo so ye ne pe no ene wo dwene ho e just say wo nwene bibi fufuru bi amfa mamsera ho ena wode ato hase mienhwe Adwoasafo yi edini kan e wo ba onyem na circumstances ma Adwoasafo unya miscarriage. It is a wood in chain. Now, who nim choir, you see, a miscarriage in a bar yard. Be to say, and you need be your appointing authority. No, obey be I dare say not. You say, and my baby so this your cornea cocobusa, a psychologist, and a busa gynecologist, and now you busa a psychiatrist, the oba. Dear Benny, Timmy Banna Quam one, it me cover miscarriage, Eba. The basso so with me, extra for depression, Biana, the decano. That's a for miscarriage. Yea, and now or ye minister responsible for procurement. I feel dear, a chain so, Uncle Gender Ministry. Wako gender ministry, and that's our time, the SCC in Yano. Na just I say we slow kakra and no maybe the you know into my challenges kakra e buy e munni e kwani e fa so a woni Mrs. Kwashiga mun sem e buy na Adwoasafo the Mrs. Kwashiga Adwoasafo so wayinadi later under the hand of Adwoasafo Mrs. Kwashiga Meya Jumano, Adwoasafo na Troye. Onoana a dictator ma secretary Troyana. Letter noa a reinstate tea 24 hours later. Letter noa a reinstate tea. Mrs. Kwashigano. Adwoasafo na Troyana. And also so Edaho. And I feel the water. And na ne bay to drink a buyer or wakwada bear moi. It wa Akwadei. I will create America one and go to drink. Dan go to drink. Dan go to drink. Let there be a near friend. One of my man said, say you school for free, social worker for free, hospital for free. I thought you no. Akwadanu go to drink. Came nagging until say Obeko. Now I could take a charge as a mother. There will back akoda na ni kotodwe akoda ketua de na ni kotodwe no require say just yakoye surgery mpo wey NHS initially no e de no call US nti escalate say akoda no e wase ye no surgery no and then e de prolong stay no e baaye and na ye de ben e de prolong stay no e baaye and so adwasafo e ba back to Ghana bedi na watwe mienu efa E-Levy ho a as no so san konachi because of akoda no ekotodwe no ho asem yei okoi ekokoje eye permission if the president of the republic or abo chief of staff so amane any man sa permission no of that extended leave afedi adwasafo nso so na we deputy leader of the house adwasafo eto one mo a obetese ye kan radio so say ene de kwame na afenyo American ene deputy leader hey etiche se ye nka hwe kura nkyere me se ye yi madi kura ye se ye nka nkyere me ana che se no so deputy leader nsem no eten ne che se yaudie oba also for miscarriage ba ne ba na again yade ekoye surgery na face crash the deputy leader no so kan ka mom frame kra mama ne so oh e be say ni nti kura no e was said o step backwards emma bia kwame na afenyo marking e bananim we die da bi but wa no what no say ye kan radio so ene ye de baaye we 120,000 cedis what's what you want ka bi nhemu ana eye ne bai ene ne papa enkomodie wo phone so ena ne ba no e de beto no papa anim say the birthday na ne papa promising say ai obeya de fefe de ama no akwede ye ni agye enti aja e ba say o ma me bank account any release bank account enti no kwanie ohuni say a honorable member for Asene Central ama abrantie bi akọ lodge sikadi into the fidelity account number. Don the next nadwini nyina ne say akwada no birthday na ne papa promise no ehun wa awie no say Kwame akompra konso de owo bi say wo ba kodi birthday na for 120,000 cedis bra obenya de aba ono nim say be man that's what you say o ye chef ankasa o ye chef ankasa and o de 120,000 cedis afedi e won gongo die eye what van gongo to birthday cake 120,000 cedis 31.2 billion what the be got to cake no the be akọ and so and the family dollar and just I told you what they call it the family dollar they ko no ma ho afedi e won gongo tie asasi radio honorable members say just the chief of staff na demand by very sanka onimu da ondo nim sa kwada de papa ana ama ne birthday present mimi ha munya de mo keka no so na wono de between wono honorable adwasafo mam sera ene eye Kwame Nyafenyo marking say honorable member for Asene Central eye Kwame na Kwame Japan Kwame na kwati aboa wadaro mamache wa wie so se wo choose afenyo over wono adwasafo a enye hwe wate no finka ka certain considerations nti no obe choose wono adwa no over Kwame na marking na emo so choose over Kwame na marking over no adwa de a yo wate na nano yawada 17th of February nano yawada o akina ne na awotwe and na 17th of February when the finance minister we be bia atoyi ema wo ba wabo number 11 no wabo afede de na asie a wo bete nsem wo eye asasi radio sasa bia ku wono kura no wa faili oh oba banya miscarriage ne ba na da hospital ye ne surgery akwada akotodwe na akwada wantinse bi ase ma me penete akwada nche yi o ene sa fe de wo beti ne se yes wa faili inti nasim ne na de toso number 12 ne de je se anyi ko da me ye fa no enwa sa hwa ansa na mimi enti adwasafo ono so nasem nyina enie nasem nyina enie nasem nyina no nasem nyina enie panyi kwada me right nasem wa so na as an experienced friend pandit adwasafo nasem nyina enie well munsiesie kama no metena so aga so be di producer no sa akwa munsiesie no metena se munsiesie no metena panyi kwada me bra akomunie eti oba ne say between one ne eye Kwame na marking so be gina Kwame na marking chi a oni hweka enti nka Kwame na so de nka utimi se nka honorable member for Asene Central nka or suspect from Mao na die na asie die na asie anunti nasem ni edi kan o say miscarriage bi ba na kwan that miscarriage no ade a ha no affect no papa and say change of ministerial position so a okokodi gender ho no challenges e ba ye a eto aso e ma wone Mrs Kwashi Gansen nsem a e ba ye e kwan e fa aso a ono ofri say we take an administrative decision na circumstances are within 24 hours that administrative decision no yesesa no so ho no ansa NHS ne bai so enan no so asem eba mu na etwe no ama nti no so ko US na okoye na ko wie kwasa kwada no hia ma say ye ne kotodwo ne surgery so ho no ni nyina mu no so san ba Ghana ebe boy for the E-Levy and sensemi na fe no wo Ghana mampanyina ma ne bo chief of staff amane eya kwada no medical condition no ewo US wo okan ni nyina mantiase ye adwuma ena odi nya sa extended leave of absence no ape wan kwatir kwa na wasate na bontene say obiati bi no say ya nyekra no the position as deputy leader that was HA Mensa Bosu no kwa no ena ye de ama honorable member for Afutu Kwame na afenyo marking ansa ena ono de 120,000 obete no wo asasi radio say na ono na ye de ma no on the na the belief was that akwada ne papa kasa na ne papa aka say akwada na remind ne papa ne birthday ena ne papa so mema ne me ye bibia ma enti sa 120,000 no the belief and understanding at the time our J bank account no na just I say in the interest of akwada no ena ye de 120,000 into ono de on Transaction Radio no na wonimu da say wono ena ne ye de 120,000 ma no onim say ne ba birthday ne yekoto cake ne bi o engrofo bi anom to cake trade for omo da ho a birthday for be a cake for be omo trade for omo da ho unta na engrofo bi to cake bi trade for hono etije do ndu okoto sa cake ne bi enti asema eda hono na asat na no ya wada na finance minister ne na ka bibia menesi a che se enne wo se oduru kurum ha sei na asem we sei isi ano radio sun sensemi aba be sanka no na number 12 ne de yugusu amedwendwene ho a enti yakokoye post ewo adwasafo ho a yakoye post wo ho a edie ne besi ewo ho no opinion polling just tumbu ase eno so opinion polling no betimi de aba yamfa opinion polling no so na mo di interview ne ba Assembly anti on Facebook live neat 100.9 FM live ubenya ewo honom taso na betimi WhatsApp ye on 0506000909 0506000909 na the say and honorable member of parliament for Dom Kwabenya na semnia What are your thoughts? Yebigusu na yetimi edi enkomo na yehunu yehu ano. Say at least no obi behunu. Bema wono so sabiaku wabobra na awoye na wono so oye honorable member of parliament for Asene Central. Wono ankasa kan wone honorable member of parliament for Domko Abenya ewon kwada mienu. Na ye frɛ no honorable Kennedy Kwame Akompreko a Japan. Yane ntwetwe nkomo kakra. Honorable member for Asene Central yemo ha. Okay. Ti yanko na yeni yemfa polling ni mrakane. So hunu. Yanko ni yemfa polling ni mrakane ansa na yasako. Edisi yesi yakɔ eye Musa Dankwa yemo ha.
Me do so penny.
Na what to say? Right. Yanko eye adwuma amakwa ye wo dom kwa abenya. Na obi bebusa se info analytics for ade ne ba ya mukoko ye polling ewo eye dom kwa abenya.
Penny ubekaya ena wasafu the woni parliament ma abaino ena pesa anytime. Our own thing. Yes, yes, I know. It's okay. You. I'm for the principal. Whether the
Namuko ye 10 electoral areas and a word dom kwabenya abokobi ablo ajay agboba hachu atomic kwabenya dom east dom west taifa north taifa south 10 electoral areas yi mudi enipa sen ene kogu ho ekoye sa research yi.
They deploy officers over ground. I find it almost 30 Valentine.
Into 587 persons, and Ekasaye. Then we are told to say 45% of respondents, a man, and 55% of the respondents, as we are. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And then age group, over 64 3%, and 55 to 64 4%. And 45 to 54 10%. Then 35 to 44 28%. Then a hoping majority of 40%, 25 to 34 Then it slopes down back to 18 to 24 10%. And 15 to 17 so yet to attain voting rights, and so 4%. So tell us, why did you decide on sad demographics?
Here decide you. Say I knew you interview. Those age persons are at the end.
Oh, amanya yi anu awie no. Ansa na yebusebusa onsembi. To the extent say ye wie na ye bebusa say na ko school dru sign of which 50% are saying say omo junior high, and then 32% are saying say omo wie SS, and then 9% say omo wie tertiary, and then 9% say omunte ba school ko mun ko bi.
Perfect.
Then in the ethnic groupings, you spoke to Ashanti Akan 45%, Guan 4%, Gadangbe 15%, Evis 18%, Mole Dagbani 4%, German 2%, Grushi 1%, Mande 0%, and the others 11%. And also once again, movie answer mubuze busa who say they say na ewo na.
Aye. Question.
Oh, to mukasa wie no. And it says, enipa 76% on because some Christians, Now we some Christians at the tail end of the questionnaire, no, and some of because some Christians. And then 18% Islam, and then 2% traditional, 3% others, 2% non-religious. Then we come to party affiliation. Respondents, after some no more we be one more demonstrators 35%. MPP for 36%, NDC for, and then 22% floating for, and then 7% others. Nana dia na mo hwehwe no. Nebusa say, yeah, na areas bena yeshia womo because 14% of the respondents say na omu ewo kwa benya electoral area. 8% say no mu abokobi electoral area. 4% say ablo aje electoral area. 10% say agboba electoral area. 11% say hacho electoral area. 14% say atomic electoral area. Dom East 18%. And responded, yeah. Then Dom West 7%, Taifa South 6%, and a Taifa North 9%. A representative sample of the entire constituency, Anna.
Absolutely.
Afe na musha asia mubusa questions na mudi kan busa ya ansa na mubebusa baby obi fe no. You are then asking, is the country heading in the right or wrong direction? Tell us the respondents no diomu edibaye. This is just under 49% are saying say the country is heading for the right direction. 44% are also saying say it's headed for the wrong direction. Then you go by party affiliation. By MPP for no, 84% out of the 587 are saying say the country is headed for right direction. Then 10% of NPP for saying it is headed for the wrong direction. And then 6% are saying they have no opinion. Then with the NDC, 20% are saying the country is headed for the right direction. And then 77% are saying no, it's headed for the wrong direction. And the others, 30% are saying it's headed for the right direction. And 42% are saying wrong direction. And then 28% are saying they have no opinion. Floating voters, no. 44 are saying say we are headed for the wrong direction, and 46% are saying we are headed for the right direction. Does it tell us anything different from the earlier position, Anna? Yani Ora Musa Dankwa, Global Info Analytics. And in the light of the air course, honorable member of parliament for Dom Kwabenya, lawyer Mami Adjua Sarah Safo, the constituency one, Omakwakoye opinion sampling. Na emunsam ana ode eto dwa yene no edi ehon enkomoy. Then the next question was, do you approve or disapprove the job performance of the president in his second term? Tell us the respondents, the omode bae.
And what there are more people who disapprove him.
But how do we reconcile earlier position about say the country is headed for wrong direction or right direction? Majority of the persons are saying that, oh yes, it's headed for the right direction, and minority are saying that, oh, it's headed for the wrong direction. But then they do not approve of his work. Up to 48% says they do not approve, but 44% are saying we are headed for the wrong, right direction. Can you explain further to us?
Okay. Sometimes direction.
Now, for Yanko, the almighty E-Levy, of the 587 persons mupolu or mo eje or mo response, you put a question: do you support the E-Levy? And what did they say? Internet say 77% now almost support to E-Levy, no. Uba a year nipa 35% was it? One more year MPP 4 out of the 587 no. The most 67% are now telling us that they don't support the E-Levy. Hey. So what should be finance minister or yeah the Benia or go around the country say or rally support for the E-Levy. Now, if indeed MPP 4 forming 35% of 587, now 35% of 587, now it moves subsequently 67% of the NDs MPP 4 no can say they don't support E-Levy. I say, hey, Hunkakra.
I mean, in fact, having heard that, still support.
I just say they are not more or less accepting the government further explanations. Then you go to the next question. Why are you not in support of the E-Levy? Of the 587 persons, of which are 35% here MPP for, we were to learn later. 34% here NDC for, we were to learn later. Thank you for you put the question, why are you not in support of the E-Levy? What were the responses?
The three major reasons. 4%.
Mm-hmm. 24% of the number, no?
4%.
Mm-hmm.
Government has right to spend the seat for burden taxes. And only 2% now almost say just don't like the opposition about it.
So you went further to ask, sir, what are the options you believe the government should pursue to prevent economic collapse? Edia no mkai. Ebe gu for no.
Help from IMF.
The money be collapse there, and 10% of the respondents are saying, say, he approve E-Levy. Okay, then we come to the question. Yane Ora Musa Dankwa, Executive Director, Global Info Analytics. Now, in the light of Adjoa Safun Semia, and Ubia Kebi, and they've been to the 10 electoral areas of the constituency, 587 persons. And now, woman, no Makasa. Now, responses on the buy and Gusua, Yebo Boy. I say, recall Adjoa Safun and by election. Recall Adjoa Safun and by election, you know. You put the question, do you support the call for your MP to be recalled from Parliament? And I didn't see it.
Support this. And now, 9% to say, as we all
the Maminka one WhatsApp message. Me offer as a back ya sangide, wadiaba. Na yenhwe whether it ties in with a majority of respondents in a Dom Kwabinya saying, say, they do not support the recall of Adjoa Safun. Ya sangide na di way by or say. Yasangi is a resident of a Taifa or two about Taifa. I say, good afternoon, Wafa. Seriously, the people of Dom Kwabenya constituency have great respect for Honorable Sarah Adjoa Safun. And I can confidently say that Honorable Adjoa Safun is the luckiest MP because even when she's not around, all the constituency executives and the polling station executives come together and work for her. So her actions recently have really put us at a tight corner. We are hoping that she will get over whatever is the trouble with her so that she can go back to Parliament and represent the people of Domko Abenya. Osangide, and do it by. How does it tie in with 47% of respondents saying say they do not support the recall of Adwoa Safo?
In fact, who kind message tell say Afwan Kabana she's in abandon.
Na ayes Adwoa Safo so no na obia share that so ntie ono so nasem nti information coming through indicating say here is a young woman was suffer miscarriage ya changing no ministerial portfolio no occur initial challenges at the ministry, then she had a head on with another person working for an agency under the ministry. She writes a sack letter for that person. Within 24 hours, that person is reinstated in a letter supposedly under the hand of the minister, of which one would ask her, why natural letter no, or no natural yampana? And no actually no, na akwa say the deputy leadership at the parliament and so no, what in the radio to say, ya yina free what the ama obi from. Then on also the ba a young boy and now also suffer knee troubles and then had to undergo surgery in the US. And I didn't call honum. Whilst there, I was often and some say, as a obian shedante ni issues the honor so hanom. Into a nay and the year cancer idea when into the fact say, as a majority of the respondents, April said we should not recall it. Do you believe, say, telling her story to her constituents would also allay some fears and people would empathize with her? Nah?
I think it would do because
It is people are uncertain as to the reasons why only has say, but somehow do ascribe say ne home fano, and now we are saying say a ne back and akwada kitua 10-year-old near Nikoto na yekoyen surgery. Now as a mother, now the father is not around. Now the mother takes charge of the current predicament of the young boy.
I mean these are personal issues that really can put someone in it, of course. But I think she has to what going forward. But so far, no, what we can say is that the look of our
So then you mentioned about in 2004, parliamentary results, 65% of the people in Domko Abenya voted for the MPP candidate. 32% did not vote for the NDC candidate. Then in 2008, 57% of the voters voted for the MPP candidate, and then 39% voted. Then 2012, Adwoa Safo Sabe so mono, enemu bie 63% vote ma Adwoa Safo, and 35% vote ma NDC candidate. Then 2016, it went further up. 68% voted for Adwoa Safo, only 31% voted for the MPP. Then in 2020, 58% and the Toma Adwoa Safo. Then NDC appreciated 9 percentage points to 40% for the parliamentary. Then Yadibebe drew 2020 and the Diabanti and the Michael Kwe Jr. Eba Yanshe said the Ebesiako and who would you want the MP? Who you want the MP who might replace Adwoa Safo to vote for the say why na yan only about
if you come with it's a by-election. There is of the MP and elected of the MP. And now, 44 every compared to 43. 8% 5%. So this is the current state of.
Now we are told 47% to say me and recalling no. Let's say so now more recalling no so they are likely to vote for the NDC candidate.
Exactly. That is that is the message in them. Also, the trajectory of Tony Kwabena, it is moving from old, from critical, an area that will be in it. So the numbers for coming down. And that is a sort of factor. Here, new critical. Tony Kwabena type of but overall, Tony Kwabena went up by more than 8,000 notes. That normally boosts because Aboko oil and carrots would be moving part of it. People are moving in there, especially in there. Whereas time for side, already break, don't have the natural group. And other side, have the natural of people from other parts of the city from the area. So that balance of power is we eye on them. Thirdly, COVID-19 now is handling one of the airways around who normally travel to back to register. And that getting that imbalance. That is why there was I was supposed to compare 20 by almost 10%.
But at least Director Musa Dankwa was here sharing so say the MPP I recall it Adjustafo from Parliamentary. It does not necessarily mean say Adjustafo seat, if you only two things nebetimi see either say Adjustafo say me cross carpet and now say Adjustafo say me resign and no nebetimi am by election. So you are asking, say, what more constituency do they really understand the question recall of Adjustafo now?
Oh yes, they understand. Almost here. Almost see the next to that is that. Either step back or say, okay, I will contest again as an independent.
But the fact of the party, no say, while recalling that does not necessarily mean, say, we will lose in the seat in Parliament. She then remains there as non-MPP member of Parliament.
I'm not sure that is the law. Go in and you those are the part of the.
So you may seek further clarification on that aspect because one resign and now say one cross carpet. Now party can say Adjoa Safo is no longer an MPP MP. She remains a non-MPP MP and keeps the seat. If she doesn't resign.
I think you guys might know anything. But it will probably not be the right because as part of MPP, she have won the seat. Probably not.
It's a further explanation that because I was saying nipa biti sanomano ase na yeshe. Surprisingly, you are saying, say, who would you vote for in a by-election Dom Kwabenya? Of the 10 electoral areas, 55% of them are saying, say, they will vote for the NDC. 83% in Abluaje say they will vote for the NDC candidate. 71% in Agboba are saying they will vote for the NDC candidate. 65% in Hachu are saying they will vote for the NDC candidate. 59% in Atomic are saying they will vote for the NDC candidate. Incidentally, 5 other electoral areas would also vote for the MPP candidate. 5-5. Draw.
Yes. Now, we share this again. Different, listen.
Joe he's a gun.
He is polling to all the areas for atomic. Electoral is polling above 6 areas. So that is where my question comes.
And then it's supposed to be compounded with E-Levy. Sir, Makokwe would not secure their support if he intends to vote for E-Levy.
Absolutely not.
80%.
MPIU by election. Go to the parliament, vote for it. 80% of them said so. When they vote to so under this scenario, if there's only one country, that will be the end.
Because Michael Quay, if he even gets the nod, 78% of people who supposedly might vote for him are saying that he shouldn't vote yes for E-Levy.
Absolutely. And something that we are seeing for the by election. How say you will not vote for it, get elected? That would be a very difficult thing at the Parliament.
Now, where the Guavan can cry nanka, and aside of Dom Kwabenya, you asked 587 persons and also on MPP primaries. You talk about that one. Yani Musa Dankwa, Executive Director, Global Info Analytics, and Komo. In the light of Adjust Afun Semiabeno, and Omako Dom Kwabenya, Akwakubusa 587 persons. At the time Omubuso Monsamano, no Munim say we were MPP or NDC. Yebuso Mubi and Yebusa, whom they are likely to vote, which party they are almost supporting, and 35% because MPP, and 34% because NDC. And nobody can add the responses. So you ask the question, if you were a delegate at the next MPP primaries, which of the following candidates would you vote for? Yentie, 587 persons, 10 and Omokai.
It be so 7% of the people on this. They would vote for Baumia, either Madera or NT. And 25% say Alan. And 24% I will not. Normally, I will not. They are mostly family. That's what happened.
Then you go to a preference in the NDC, and then you ask the question, if you were a delegate at the next NDC presidential primaries, which of the following candidates would you vote for? And what was the responses?
The responses is coming out. Don Maham asking the support for % of voters in the constituency. And what's that problem? 90% one and 30%.
And you go to
complete upper hand.
you go to general elections, voters' preference. between Dr. Bawumia and John Mahama, you were then asking if the 2024 elections were between Dr. Muhammad Bawumia and John Mahama, who would you vote for as president? Responses, no.
Well, now, I'm not surprised, but check this. But area, and not margin.
Another one by 52%.
By 22% points difference.
Oh, okay. The margin of
the margin was yes 80%. But this time around, John Muhammad in MVP by 1 point.
43, 42.
43 and 40. And 10K. And 10K.
Internet is 587 persons no mo sample warm views e wodom kwa benya no warm nyina at the time aye busa warm no na munim so ye MPP ni ana so ye NDC ni and na mu busa warm no and 42% say that Dr. Muhammad Bawumia ne Domahama and na e ko gina 2024 42% so beto ama Bawumia and 43% so beto ama eye Domahama. Right, then you go to the next bit. Voters' preference, general elections, Alan Chiramatne versus John Mahama. Then you are asking, if the 2024 elections were between Alan Chiramatne and John Mahama, who would you vote for as president? And the responses were?
Now, those scenarios, or that scenarios, Alan, or the and John Mahama, 43, almost the same number. But Oshia, Alan, Baumia, by about Alan does well compared to according to this.
7% at the time Dr. Bawumia and Mahama age na Dr. Bawumia enya 42 Mahama sunya 43 no 7% were saying that they will vote for someone else and then 6% 8% said they will vote they will not vote in the case of Alan Chiramatne and Mahama, of which 47% said they will vote for Alan Chiramatne and then 43% maintained for Mahama. No. Only 4% are saying they will vote for someone else. And then 6% are saying they will not vote. What does it tell us?
It tells us that Alan Chiramatne from of those people who were saying somebody else have now come out Alan. But Alan again. And those who said they will not vote, some of them vote from I will not and they have now come Alan. So from this, that Alan has a problem. And
So when you say someone has a broader appeal and someone is able to get persons, voters to shift their position, what does it tell us?
So it tells us that, there are some candidates when they are running, being a that they are element family. There is apathy for certain candidates, and certain are able to govern. Sometimes you have supporters of other smaller may be comfortable with, or they are comfortable with them. So that scenario, people cannot, or you say who. From what we have seen, shows that stronghold of Kwame Kwabena by 5%.
Surprisingly, you go on to ask who is the best to replace President Akufo-Addo in 2025 and tell us why.
They are even confused as posted. But we are doing this and see what might be at that advantage. If we saw, you so Muhammad will. Dr. Baumia comes next. And then Alan.
And then what's the meaning of that? So in one breath, Mahama will beat Baumia. In another breath, Alan will beat Mahama. Then in the final analysis of the three, Mahama beats Baumia and then beats Alan.
I think it will take this of course of questions behind this. I think this is the first country but insight. How we how knowing what we are trying. But for now,
when next and info analytics, I am research the about one thing.
The next whole year, and in April, we are doing it. And our next like that depends on where there are examples. If there are any violence anywhere from this Ghanaian, give them what is happening.
Okay, so given the legal tussle and govern honorable member of parliament for asking enough, don't we have enough for you to find out what voters in asking enough and constituents in asking enough, what they'll be thinking, what will be engaging them?
In fact, we are just waiting. We want to go there. We want to go there in a by-election poll. To ask people to tell me who is going to win. We are also looking at other areas. Whenever the court decides those cases and by-election happens.
Nah, one more a doubt as to whether global info analytics mupoli no ekano. Then I be catching them.
So my response to them is global analytics. The polling is, and we had with global companies on other services. Of course, they look independent, serving the interest of mother. Is all.
Okay. Into whilst we find out more as to recall of Adwoa Safo, does it mean she will lose her seat? This is a message from Yaunsia Ewatunsu Agugu Ewukumasi. Also, ADAKABRI, good afternoon. Please get a lawyer to clarify. If the party revoke her membership from the part, she will lose her seat as an MP. Wants to find out, because in the run-up to the 2020 general elections, similar action was taken upon the former MP. Yet the MP was able to finish his unexpired term. In teenagers, a second deputy speaker, a Siama, MPP, another candidate, more or less, I recall, yet she stayed in parliament till the end of 2020.
So there's precedent.
Yes.
There's a precedent that she will, even if she's removed, she'll be able to stay in the house as MP.
She will continue to stay in the house unless she resigns and now she crosses carpet.
Wow. Interesting.
Interesting scenario. Bureaucracy crossing carpet. What does it mean? But then we want to go back to the standing orders in the Ghanaian Parliament and find out from experienced parliamentarians. But then we have a pointer in the case of Yaunsia de Yawadia Bay, FA Siama Hono. So we will learn more about that and then Yabema Musmaswati. But for now, the Yadamasi, the global info analytics issues be bar, Mutimi Emi. And the headline is that Adwoa Safo still enjoys majority support in her constituency.
Absolutely.
Yadawasi papa. Enti Musa Dankwa and the Diabe. Sarah Adwoa Safo majority support in her constituency. Enti say and they MPP focus on more recalling now. What does it mean? And no and Igusua what are your thoughts? Ubetimi I was up here on 050 600 0909 050 600 0909 na yenye bre na intimi enkenkan de wonso so no wodeba ugusu tie nit 100.9 FM right inti yentra so na yenin right ugusu tie nit 100.9 FM and then Wednesday February 23 2022 na yanka messages kakra ewa ha say o say okay we yakan and osan anyway so ebai o say the MPP government should stop implementing populist policies that will end up not benefiting the ordinary Ghanaian, but rather put burden on revenue target of the state. Reducing benchmark value by 30% for general goods and 10% for cars will not reduce the cost of living in the country, because no government, no Ghanaian enjoy reduction of any product when the 50% benchmark and over 17 taxes were reviewed for Ghanaian businesses. And or they buy. Or say of ADAKABRI. So where exactly do these posters normally do their so-called posts? I mean Hacho. And but I didn't see them. So they should come back again. Start what they Daniel. I say where who know I say where who know I say where who know Sasun I say ADAKABRI, let's listen to another Ken side of the story, please. Okay, you could say but then the question of MPP recalling Adwoa Safo, does it mean she loses her seat? Me offer say probably Akwabena Sante political history researcher. Na yeni ni nkomo kakra. KKA yamu hadu bani TFM so.
Afa me so.
You go so yeah. At least other persons need to hear the side of Adwoa Safo. I could still recall your comments on Facebook, how you sought to placate her, and I'm reading and I say, yeah, you ma. Now, there's been this talk of Elton Brobe of multimedia. Or say Nana the president of the republic may engage the party hierarchy and deal with the Adwoa Safo issue. And top of the agenda could be the recall of Adwoa Safo, and that the government will move away from dealing with her diplomatically to being, one would say, bullish in the approach of issues. Now, recalling, does it mean she loses her seat? Others are also asking. What are your thoughts as a political historian?
A great area of constitution, because from 1993 to data, a been see that the HIBC was from MP, but because of 3 months period, that couldn't the go through the processes in the interview away. But maybe point is a premier understand of the constitution practices lots of parliamentary status. I say a parliamentary seat becomes vacant if parliament is dissolved. If a parliamentarian is elected as speaker, if a parliamentarian resigns, if a parliamentarian is expelled from parliament for contempt of parliament, if any circumstance arises which causes a parliamentarian to be disqualified or become ineligible for election to parliament under Article 94, And now you about the absent without permission, and when me discussion. And so parliamentarian cross carpet and I said carpet bagging and as an independent candidate or joining any political party or parliament, they are although losing the seat. Who share women when you know the constitution the parliamentarian and yet the outside forces where outside forces are a kind of cost benefit to my baby. And she said you will call in another who is selecting now. And when you're parliamentarian in a court, already Article 97 1G and HR, it deals with parliamentarian himself, what he does in the house, and not actions of the party or party now the woman. It is a party need to take action. Maybe we need to it will be difficult, I say, the court for interpretation. Because any parliamentarian need to take action. The parliamentarian need to take action say with free party in the media and then a bit my but the party no any case I recall that they selecting a great area. The medium is a parliamentarian need to take action to every heading. I the court all the who really the paper is selected parliamentarian and the parliamentarian in the no be our parliament in action in actions of parliament. And apart from the court, they can say they disqualify and based on we say the candidate no any action of the debate no until the court never can. But the party no because they select another I recall and only an action of the parliamentarian. That's my understanding of that great area.
Then perhaps now here must say if because with the CMD, you know, where there's even a by-election through death and everything, that's only 90 days to the general election now. We don't conduct. We don't conduct an election.
We don't conduct. A new area of your constitution, you might just say, "Yeah, penny for beggars." But really, Professor Kumado book so our constitution now. Also, the review Libya. The action of any inaction of the parliamentary independent based manager to be deselected or this parliament by yet an external force like a party at all the
room. Obisimi Musa said na the CS MPP shada yin edin hunu na eko wie say ye ko by election MP the betria cost of the elections and na that's pay and betria.
That's a new year area that they
okay, right.
Normally, I say MP in the case, but party in the all representative, we need to of course now. But a by election, constituency fund money is keeping by election. So obviously, if you cry, you see there should be a by election. There be a couple of now. Near.
Yeah, the Kwabna, me fancy ya.
Oh, Joe.
That's it. Right. Crop ya Kwabna Sante. And I will tell you, and penny so to Yaba did your home come this year. Right, you can see 100.9 FM. Messages Kakra my name Nana Kwajo Ajay Yabua of the MPP at Nasi. Na Aye Ura Haruna Kingsley Amaleba so at Nasi. Yet me Adrianama Kingsley Yamwa Nasi. Now what is saying?
What do you mean, quite me?
Right. Now, as it is, E-Levy, and I won't append. And what are your thoughts about it?
You offer me that. My memo, Hana, Minchia, Abuji, Minchia, crew, I want more. That's the next member, NDC. Over. The E-Levy is still pending because and common and some more our home and corner and penny say 20 years in Jachaswa. Then I call for E-Levy aba.
I mean, kind message can be free. A year, many about every London and now the about say, Big Brother. I think the threats from the MPP are empty. as far as removing Adwoa from Parliament is concerned. A better dialogue with her, especially now that they need the numbers. They didn't treat her well in the case of Mrs. Kwashiga's sacking and reinstatement. Dr. Frankie Asaredonko and whatever. Tibaba Nanake Banessa person sticking a comment on Adwoa Safo and as I'm found so.
I can't pa.
What is a count?
Because once I had E-Levy whom komoya and someone honorable in Japan, I can order my friend, my chief of staff, a big media. Definitely was say a can't just have one was him. Because a real E-Levy conversation will not be incomplete without Adwoa Safo. And she must be brought in. What you say?
Safo.
Adwoa Safo. Yes, she must come in. Over, E-Levy need to say. You were had no man penny a kufuado, a suman name I mean your back and for Riata or the Ghana Sika seminar. I shouldn't say. How are your mind sick some to your true can say? One call Mnashabe Jeffie Ghana Yanam Sifuanim. Now a bank of Mabosika. What chat and that's what we say, Obe Peno a fimu. Educosi a finery, you know, they are bought a mine home brano. On fan Cotum Nashabe Jeffuanim. And I shall not show the Cotum Nashabe Jeffuanimoa. A tour a buying a was say oje and also a can a toda a buying to me a tour for eba. Then per se Timamufu a woman man and I tell my muno. Mutias are 2 ways say Edebois, the bay a mayor sika and they are mine home to you. I told them so a buying to me the and she shall be cotton as your phone anymore. Obey me generous so ye a tour a what to me before Triano. Cassen ne to me a modia mamino, but just out to me no so they eat 1 of you are. If you never cause out to no, Muntribum. I buy one to me so yes, and say, Yen edit to me now, I'm a diama, a penny, or penny to me, Gina, your name so edit out to me a yuma. And 2022 budget now, penny suman, my mini back for real time the call Parliament. Aha, no, the court just say. A buying be here 105 billion Ghana cedis. Now they are here Ghana home to you, now they are born mine home bra within the next 12 months, I dare him. That's part of that 512 billion Ghana cedis. A binary here saying in Sabekano. Or by GBB a friend electronic transaction levy. The sa electronic transactions levy no. And the same. The what the sika and the command will be. Now the fa a bare fountain time video swa. A buy betty 1.75. Now they are free so. Na sasa kana ban tete no obo anu a odwuma aban se ode kwakoye ukasem nie asem no beto odwa no anye Ghana fo dodo na ade enti wo mo almost start here there's raising issues about that electronic transaction levy no ya yemra she bedwafo ejina ho ye be budget ne be gia tumi anyintumi be gia tumi anyintumi ko wie chie no ye hunioma esi wo mra she bedwafie which is part of public knowledge that I don't need to waste my time on. But regardless of numerous course of Parliament ni na no baby yeba bedru sisi a the E-Levy. That's a buying so at the mrabi air bar. Was say a buying ayen shady cotton na shebe jofie. Na ebeye mra na shebe jofo ye gitu mu a ebeye mra. Na sam mra na buying be gina so ede age eto no. Enu nti a buying the enhye no bill na the cotton Parliament a electronic transaction levy bill. Parliament ejina tumi a ye de ma omo no anem ege sat bill na etumu a na omo pass a ebeye mra ebeye law a bind all citizens comply with MP. Now the issue is not about government raising revenue. See a lot of people saying that NDC is against government raising revenue and all of that. In fact, during a time between 2009 to 2017 January 7th, we introduced a lot of bills in Parliament. A maximum of 4 years. I would say taxes. We did so because we believe that a buying here because of the mobile money bra. That's a buying here because the mobile money bra. We have to pay for government to be able to raise the needed revenues to execute development projects. So NDC, as a matter of principle, does not against government raising revenues through taxes. No, of course. Inshallah, by December, how do you call it? January 7th, 2025, President Mahamani NDC Sabah Baimu Biomwa. Definitely, they'll say budget tax. So we cannot against taxes now. whilst we will collect the same taxes in the future. You're very inconsistent people, and we don't stand for inconsistencies. But this particular E-Levy, we are against it. Why do we against it? We do so because His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia, I think October 25th, if my memory serves me right, 2020, few months to the elections. Momunia Kwame Sefaka an interview at Peace FM. And the issue about mobile money, Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia, on behalf of government and on behalf of his boss, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the President of Ghana, denied flatly that a bad mobile money and a poor household and a mobile money transactions. So as a matter of principle, a government that cares about the poor and government that cares about the people will not in any way dreamed of imposing tax on mobile money transactions. Therefore, we are holding His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia to his own promise to the people of Ghana before the elections. And we also stand by on one own words. Therefore, if NDC is against the E-Levy, we are against it because His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia said so. And indeed, he promised that. Therefore, we find it very incongruous and intriguing that making this promise before the nation, you turn around to come and tell us in E-Levy. Over. That's the point number one. The point number two, we are against the E-Levy because, as a matter of fact, progressive economists in this country, including the revered economist of our time, Mr. Kwame Pianim, have also spoken against it. Or say a lazy man approach to sit at the comfort of your air-conditioned office. Now what time paper I calculate this say me koji sika fiti mamufu botum. It's against it. And therefore, one also he is not for the E-Levy. And indeed, a lot of progressive economists have also spoken against the introduction of the E-Levy. That's number two. Number three, we are against the E-Levy because the E-Levy is a regressive tax. Over. Tax biano, as a matter of principle, must have a duration. Corporate organizations, at the end of the year, on profit or money, they declare their profit and they pay tax on that profit to the government. Now, your income worker, at the end of the month, your tax is calculated on your gross income. Near take a comma buying, now buy the input to Juma. Ebio, your indirect taxes are on your 2 or what to idea. Shop now to idea what is the way to your tax. And therefore, we believe that the tax should be specific. Who are the target of this tax? The target are for the poor. The target are the poor. And therefore, we believe that this tax will not, as a matter of fact, comply with the logic of taxation. It doesn't comply with that. Ebio, that tax we were fatna the consuet you were Juma afia about the Bosumia Konewie. Offer your credit to account. Also, offer Haruna S. Yamra, Tima Mano, 100 Ghana cedis, now 200 million koto books. Now for 200 questions, more 500. Say they as I know that at the end of the month of 500 cedis. Offer Haruna 100 cedis, 507 for koto books. Offer you send your pay. Despite your income tax, I tell from the source. Moment of about sending me 500 cities repay. Your taste are you live in a free zone. Maybe second, I'm so no. When you are back also junior senior high school, I'm man 200 million soon compare handout to Binto. Me send 200 man also your taste is can also a free zone 1.75. So this tax is a repetitive tax. Moment of best send this car from one person to another. And from another source to another source, it will be repeatedly deducted throughout. And we think this kind of system will discourage our digital economic drive. It will also discourage our effort to build a cashless society where we are moving gradually from the cash economy to a cashless economy. And the effort of our digital drive will be killed by virtue of introduction of this tax. About him. You might live in a bon crane, say. That you live with. No credit be anyhow.
Unu na betra say.
Baba, no man akwaba, on your tire late. Chief we Wow, no credit be anyhow. Me kasa na offer so dey
last week you better me see you.
Mama to ha.
Na ya na ba dey hefa na afa dey be at condition where so it is ano.
Na obaji inside. Unim se nyambe chiro to abete. Yeah. Ugodi abete anta no aba.
Offer only. Last week me catch you say you share her, you protect me.
Aye.
You are allowing him to evade me. Please
That
offer.
is most unfair.
I want you to protect me on this
Except
platform.
to say Biana he's paying back in your own coin as you did to the lady.
But you know if you say me moja mono e channel. Etimi fra ye wo.
Any prayer was the engineer support say because what tie.
Obi a support wo.
E man engineer to you mutia.
Kai e babela to you mutia.
Yabuzuti on the E-Levy.
Baba, this E-Levy is obnoxious tax. And why is government intransigent position on the E-Levy? Government is so intransigent because, as we speak, the Wutie Mampeni, Mami Nuaba Kenoforiata, Ghana's photo some for, in some waka, Alosahin Kranum some waka, and MPP 4P, including the Greek minister, Bode Ura, Obo some waka, E-Levy ma, but last and Puyen be the Democrat for. When I go Kusema Quata, that name, E-Levy ma, a quanient to me yibium. But I don't say, what good to boot? So what they call public washrooms on the highways. How maintain here? From December, embassy Sabri, Wafa. Then you crown Kenya over 10 million Ghana cedis. That's how they become in Krum, Tempano constituency. Wafa, embassy Sanoma P. Oh, what gunu? Ajab to boot next also require public washrooms. Meanwhile, this same government is crying for revenues. What's wrong? Now, the whole thing is that the Ghana economy broke in Iska. And until a very effort to make it so raising bonds on the international market, investors are running away from our bonds. But government need money. So if government need money, they have no option than to come back and pick the money from our pocket. And don't me say he levy no, to bottom levy. Magana phone to because chrono bien in wa, yes, so chrono bien in wa, a chance I live where by the bay. I be off and one said I may. I buy a babet no kunyaso. What Bobusian qua over 220 billion Ghana cedis. Over them, yet the Ghana Japadia ye war any year car at Tonwa. They are 54% to GDP. And then you end up 83 to 87% to GDP. Sika wajinu dia fahifa. COVID-19 by a banner ye sika and look, we had two pandemics in this country. The pandemic number 2 was the COVID. But the number 1 pandemic Kabenya Ghana for since 2017 was the MPP government led by President Akufo-Addo. And the worst of it all is that you see, government is as rich as its own people. And in fact, you can interrogate this fact from history. No country in this world have ever taxed its own people to prosperity. Therefore, Abaywe Ebebano, Alhaji Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia Ekache said they were coming to move the country from taxation to production. And then Abaye the reverse. And the reverse in Kwampuno, it is far worse than where we were before they came to power. No one will be a Moasia. Before then, there were a lot of people in this country, private sector players, our establishing businesses. I found Crawford Juma, or more year near Tuamoka, no more sika de bobu shahun bra, yes, I the sika at the same time. Ma buy a jet tour, every workers war as or the same monthly income taxes. At the same time, those organizations were paying corporate income tax to the government. And no more. Dr. Indum, I'll continuously mention him, was a key private sector player in this country. Yitia Mwaben, Makineku, Dr. Dufour, and Omar Hekahon. By January 7, 2017, our President Mahama hand over. Near or less than 437 banking and non-banking financial institutions in this country who were paying taxes to government and who were also paying income taxes to government by virtue of their employees. Yatana wa mama mpeni Akufo-Addo on the family members because they want to build a family empire and extend their political influence. For good South banks na and then Ghana form pim etifio mu nedwuma. Corporate organizations to fear ye go mo omontumi ye. So when you shrink the economic basket of the people, where do you expect to raise the revenues? There's nowhere you can get it. And at the end of the day, when Abra Bantu Sadamu Wedimino, we sat down and watched him. He butchered Dr. Indum to pieces. Makinoku, Dr. Dufo, and others. We watch it. And then Abanya Sikano, we're trying to abaye before say, yeah, na yonko 2 years Sikano from Abai. Over. And you be a Ghana, sans above from somewhere, better no waiver. Better waiver. But the event as it stands now have exposed the NPP. Après E-Levy is a statue of Parliament. Nipa omodini atwa pia sha omosiase ewin no so was, how do you call it, Honorable Right Speaker of Parliament Abambagben. Oh my God, for better say Honorable Abambagben has sabotaged a buying business in Parliament. And then and from abo bakoko to ada ho. One gase no twa omo expose omo one by one that Honorable Adwoa Safua, despite Ghana for sika and for private jet, a man so my better Parliament. Don't hear him pass E-Levy no ama. Obedu your so one Parliament. And my chief of staff in the convoy continued the for over 1 hour. And I just for 1 billion. The revelation where Honorable Kennedy Japan Abemano, I want the office of the special prosecutor, the CID, and the BNI to take notice of this. So Monty I know that they are listening, including the Flat Staff House boys. They are listening. What for?
Flat Staff boys,
Omotie, Flat Staff House, or more room or more be officer, and for to monitor radio stations. It's your when the Ghana second into from social media langas. Yes. Ebini sanko for na kede body ache. Body na ma. Over. What's him? Wa kotua sika 120,000 Ghana cedis.
Na
Adwa for accounts. That's kind of free for. Adwa better just for yeah. You tell that's kind of man. And the chief of staff
of
and the provider says anything. We want to know who provided. We want to know what that money has paid to Adwa for accounts. No. Says can say a bribe there, then the authorities must come in and let us know where the law will lie. Because in the future change of government, definitely, and Krofobi Sabe, on the form who Nana
over
Amaliba Nebusa be no
over me that's it. Ochan Truby Wahanoma
Amaliba.
That me catch you say, my madam friend is your truthful. I'm not here to lie.
Oh, you're truthful. You
can deal with the issue without attacking me.
Of a mate in your catching the paygrass was I concern the
Oh, Jai.
Of I do in India.
You don't do that. No.
What chapter? I will be saying a whole question. Oh, pussy, and I dear mamma is a man, I may answer. One time was he at social media office for presidency. Our monitor radio stations, extra articles. Who be saying here to your muka or say I. Now, omu office dear Juma no me was saying the mina me answer. Why the farm with Juma say me me answer?
Do you know what, babe?
Offer, without due respect. Man, I retracted that statement in a intro. It is only any evidence to back name some or candidate. It will be good for him, say, quickly, no, or very retract. Because while he are no couple to Fred say, public ram or Chani Abefros will be dear true. With this time. Emrani adwuma ntu kasa menu no metu for you careful entro no munyim free ofa E-Levy hu dede ne bruha haye ekoso yi edi kan mentia MPP for asinkonya 80 wo fidie kase na mentia Ghana fo nyina so fa mentia kase enkoma ura kan okojo damoa
Na kojo
mentia ura the friend say, oh yeah, me papa, me boss, direct boss, Ura Evans, Nimako. Now, Openi Binzua of a last week, a kind article, Mr. Dramana, DRE, head of a story be no reading. Ye read Bremsen OTA program. No, me nimber bunya me number fee no frame. No, say me major much information about that taxes now. Abina scrapping it off or me implement here a year, Juman. Inti me kwa papa ni brief me ye. It's not just about taxes kekene di achewu. But if you look at the amount of money involved when Kabani being free those taxes, I free Ghana for her. I Ghana for say, a man penny say, or the Ninja Ghana for now. And yet, assembly can also say, Yaka. Yama Ghana for TSA. Two things. Also, me cry minimum penny, and committee commentary cost of Bontini is important. Those taxes now where you through no microphone so mumpin. I man penny san fabra back. You heard the amount of money and keeping your woman. In himself, baby, in those taxes, no, say increase in the mind. Yes, you pay new one. You pay existing one and the one. You find new one in 20. You manage the old ones now. Where you or find himself buying we buy just 6 taxes pen where you free hole. Okay, can you about 15 nuisance tax? I buy na cleaning in every system. NDC abereso na ye adwuma. Nti se mete se NDC ne te ha no wo ka se e na tax e me de se me ne for once. Why fair? Say they are not against the friends E-Levy. We mean say or no view. They are not against it because say a way of hold on.
No,
let me quote you correctly.
What I said here. I said we're not against government raising taxes or revenue through taxes, but not the
fair enough. But any mistake I say wo kasa no. The entire sorry E-Levy, just yet E-Levy, but the entire sorry and say, oh, my mamma won't send be mo feel say, oh, my penny drabby, actually, Dr. Mahmoud Baumi, Abeka say, and then work say in tea. Of a son him say, you were dear friend collective decision making. And you were, I mean, singular, one question will make you decision.
Collective responsibility.
Me, dear mean who about Mampenia be the statement of making those days and then say, of a sack questioner. Ora wa wuni akwa me sefa kan bisa no ne personal view pateni o mampeni abedi akire personal view and o man say to ono kwa ne pemu dia engeni kwa say ye charge
afena ye di police station forms be abrament
of another what be police station forms of our home bay of our home bay
brother me fama
and over the Kabega means say police station forms I was say over mama for be hunu ni me police station form na wasa no yo
because you
e be di eche dey bia so afi be kokotia no bo homo dey so fa won tia no ba bia camera si wan hwe anan grofo bia be che wade afi be tia no na afi abo nu Ofa enti na wo hwe ta aban abolish a taxes ni bebre eno ye Ghana for complain NDC for ante the mampani akufo ado bre so wa abolish those taxes ni nyina afiri ho ante they didn't make any comment on it but then mini ya betena nya kokudru and the E-Levy akrono tax and the E-Levy I'm not surprised because that's the nature of the NDC and MD kana make say owura kwa me se fa kan question obusa mampani abedi akire no oma answer a wono no enti ase mu say me de mesusu say momoni ye ade ahiafo ne yusu enti enye papa se be tax no e ono nko anadwene of assault azeza ono nko anadwene no kire now nipa dodo ni nyina ahia ya dwene ho say baby ya ba bedru ni asekire o man ni dia ba bedru no e wo say ye introduce ade we ye be tax na dia magana fo ye nyina na the funny trend is for kasem na man look as if say of ankrofo a e betua tax net baby ena MPP fo anasa ban ne so ti baby o aban ne ti hin omofia aman mu enu implement taxes dia magana fo enso aban ne so betua tax ni bi momo na aban ne ye bi aban ne mo ni pan nyina ye bi. And it's not something that will be taking decision. There will be corner, but I will not affect no. They also be a tia bemunti. A dear momo de betting your tongue, I am piano man qua. Young fan is off, I dear tum. You chat 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. I chat 10 years, E-Levy da so ye Juma. Fene be and this Maba Power 2048. Muba Mubecha E-Levy ni mana. These are some of the things that the Biamekan wants them say. The NDC for sorry jina no maka say okay fair enough yen nyina agitum sene ahokyera ba wiase nyina nya Ghana nko a enuma bebre na collapse said offer and last week na metia na make at say aman ahodo a na omo depending on enema bebre ne omo depending on tourists and the ja omo dey survive nti omo ase dey frefrem for say mo mra mesra ye man yi mu enti aban no ofa I introduce adie we say E-Levy di abase baby aba bedru no momo ayen na yen chichire oman no eye better say ye betwe efu ho afree ofa ta ye friend say loans giemu na ye ba baby ye be chichire ye man no akodum pempenso a ye di ye sika ne ye mo kakra ye bobo ano no ene ye de chichire oman no ene da na me chichire mu chire wo say tabe ta ofa wo be kwa akwaje bosia ede akoye oba ho ade no anya yire ene se obeto obo na wasie usika nkakra na ade akoye oba ho ade no abeye wo yire a wo neka after ware no ene de obedeka after ware no akoye
oba ho ade ye be ma no nko asika
mummi enu nyina timi kwa bosia bo mummi enu nyina ti abramo we ba bisa no
na ai amale ba ware
no oni baby aji lo angongwaji IMF lo ni bi nware ye
amukwaji lo be ware
sanu no omo tiresi ye nkwaji lo ni emfa medidi de omo kire no
enyi lo ni di da soso
omo de omo jididi ye
omo nyi bi ni di
ye enyi lo mfa ni di
okay
ye de aji lo ndi ye project na wo na sa wo hwe ekumfi
amalbati yo
ekumfi pineapple factory na esi ho na offer Ghana for dia ejina mudi kwaji loan ebi na edisi ekumfi die no offer hwe pokwasi interchange we tama interchange we ai kaneshi die obi chebilamte ukọhwe edi esi tamale na offer you understand say loans are buying we si jeje ye no what they are project a benefit Ghanaians yan kwaji loan yan family ya salary ni emedi yo yenum and that's what the NDC want anu na make at offer ebeye papasa brantia wasi suwa opeso ware ube bobo usika no na ade akwaje akware dan say ubekwa akwaje besia na afei ubekwa ho ni mu beba na ni oba ni mienu nyina besia da academy ni mu amokwa akotua enti aban ni tena se no se da bi te yakwaje besia mpa ofa Ghana fo ya ho ni ebeji sika afiri yakotua bosia no obate ni o enti ada ni Ghana fo nkasa ni enya nkwaje bosia fufuru yi ye mo bo ye sika na no nkakra na yemfa nye developmental project menchira baako Accra Kumasi highway wampani kufo ne shase what the internally generated funds and the starting project meboa Ghana ye yankase ya hu sika nketenkete e de boy ho bra no and ogigi na no de yes akwan or ya about 60% in efiri aban mu NDC betena aban mu for 8 good years o man timi an complete 40% na ka ye no mampani akufo adobre yi so ta loans no offer ene utisin sa won bypass so a straight to Apeja junction wonam dual carriage so ta loans ni bia wo mo mbaji loans di ye no ye bresu ye maji loans ni na de e kan se ye ba ji Ghana fo hon kakran na ye nyina ya keka bom na ofa ye de akwa kotua e de ye project a ye pese ye de ye enti se bi so obi atena se no ka kire se E-Levy aya de bonia na ye nipa won pega na yie de beka sa akasa no moti yanum say E-Levy ebema MPP aye very unpopular minim age NDC for pe head of format ase say woye kura oye oba oware otoware asu mienu ware asu mienu oto no obi e prese ni kunu bedo no na ni kunu ani beka ne ho no ono de o say ni kunu nya no na wonkodi ni yire foforo na chi of a political party bay and obebo ne nsem aye dedede am ada political party say ade a wo ye du be ko opposition ji jaye wo to obey mu na wo pa ba eti say no kure say E-Levy the MPP fo be ko opposition and this phone come on ntum na mfa ye nko
obi kan sa
oh am say mo kan na dey say aye speaker of parliament I can the same thing say be make government no unpopular. What does it got to do with you? Reserve player wo pese me na mubu na bebo bi no wo ti wonum se tackle bi ameko no minya ye no mangupra we kire se E-Levy NDC fo hunu se ya de a eden sesaye ebeba offer ye way ya generate sikamu na revenue kakra no so mu be page akosoro ama yetimi atuatua loans ni interest ahodo a over me loan je no me nche da ni problem ohu o me problem ye interest a wutia wo so no wakwaji loan be for 15 years wakwaji your friend say $1 billion or $2 billion after 15 years now for betua loans ni be wie no na watua so oji 2 billion na watua 4 billion 4.5 billion 7 billion and is betimi de 15 years and raise 7 billion there of identity into your was never raising kakra na enye project no en kakra eno na yahuno ne yesi da bi say yentumiri kan kwa besia bobiem ya bebobo yin sika no na de akekere ye man media obusa mi ameka kire open say eya de papa meti say me nua yi ka say ofa say wakodwom no wakodidwa na anase ye tia ka bosome na opay no wo say wo transfer akwakoto umumu account so ane atew enye nokre ofa enye nokre wo transfer sika aba wa account mu a ye nyire ye bi da bia de ba wo own account no ye charge but say wo transfer from your account and they are different account and when your transaction benefit a third party, so you have to pay for the platform. I don't know this for problem no. Almost said that's some no almost but the best that pretendency and tiasi near 2 foot rug Ghana for you. Offer I'm son. There be one no. On tiasi. I'm back your paying. I'm about tiasi.
That's some of me than I okay. And some room if you show me never is so foot any muma.
Offer.
You better tell me.
First episode was so tiasi in you answer me that say. Offer.
It was with you.
Na me the mention say e what me akyem so won tiase na de nti o ka so won tiase ne say
me ka twi o
na na say o ka twi a me tiase
some na fin so mu neba e futu nko a
e na me kire o say
nti ase be na wo
untimi tiase
because it doesn't make
sense so bo ani fra wo hunu ade offer the make say o ma sheda so mo de atro ene na da na betu nsemagu Ghana fo ni ene asum ene say say obi send the father ka of papa ma bumfu send me thousands this year me ko yi ayentime
abenam ka so the 1,000 bre
say wo send mama ya ye the year illustration ama ade kira ye nchiri obi ati ase
first case to the pastor e bia ne nipa do hiaska over here
enti ana fa wo send the ade mo don ya ma de
birthday cake 120,000
don ya ma ne na janko do send me 100 cities dem fanye demonstration na Ghana for say me ko yi akodi a ya beteme a ya nteme enso send wi anya de anensa beka enti ofa entro na ndc for ka kire Ghana for say wo kwa akoyi wo sika na ya beti bi enye atro de toso mienu o transfer sika from a bank account to your own mobile money account e free yen charge yente E-Levy e atro na mom say wo transfer sika from a bank account and I say umomo account at the third party honoma offer the identity say so kai say teteni ani sa momo ni ade ade enti say dwasofo naja asema ba fie no say me diska ko dwaso and I say o say dwasofo diska bi man me won kran ha yetu bofo na bofo no ade sika na fo car enwo de atena bus mu ebi osima no pa ba beduru anumre anumro beduru diska na brami ansa no wasantena bus mu asan na chi akobak sana na yeti na meboa busa won say time na na ema nipa fo car risk ewom ni ade ade nyina no fa na diska ne tua lolly fa na zan diska na editua enei tade na free ho sika bia wo send dia ma onua bia no
wo circle back to justification for E-Levy na
of say na on fa topic fufu bia ntumi E-Levy dia ho anam gusu a me cheche tema Ghana for
justification see ano leader can say technically it has been passed.
Okay.
So if indeed it has been passed, the DNA afi finance minister nam room cruise way.
A friend is a speaker kasa technically it has been passed. Leader kasa.
Majority leader.
Of a minu mienu nyina dia dance say technically enye ade a minu mienu nyina ye de ne hu ze no na azie. De azie no e was a parliament gitum. The parliament nyanyin tuma leader no aya we say ebe here as a parliament begitum say no hu here enke ye nkoye town hall meetings kayan try say platform bi ebenya no ye de back section semu magana fo atiase no magi atum na yampanzo fa ba bi ho no ma ukona ni nipa kasa wi a no kan say adenti na ma mantem ma section sem ni ma nkire yen sei no ma giant this for mo twam tum futuro Ghana fo ni sa meji tum say ye delay won niam bi ho wafidie so mekan say ofa aban bia party bia baban mu na wa manage with communication here at the problem oba wonim de ntia na nkani kan sanke yetwen ofa ede E-Levy proposal ne ba even parliament and sana ya engage Ghana for then ko se yes adwuma no before kire niam mu kire Ghana for mo te ase ehunu de need ntia o se de ba asana introduce so but a benevolence class my council menye te eye papa say achempo ne yebeba ne abekire nukure ewom ne aka Ghana fo ate ase dan say yebetena onum say ya ne ewa ban mu dem beka bia ye ntie eno ane ye finance minister ne team ban mu mpanimfo enam eguso o mo chire mu of amenu ameko central region obi ama me pa obi ama me TNT obi ama me fuwo party ansoma me but me hunu the need e wasa me ko central region na me so ntiase a manya e wo E-Levy nsensemu no me kokko kirem nuanu mo wo e mfimfi mantamu na mo so tiase
ne training do obeka de
eno de nyame adom ofa enye training ya explain E-Levy na mama tiase here any day into say me personally I ask so many questions on E-Levy na enye say be a question ni bisa na emede ba na me pese me nyamu ntiase ta de be ya me share of ADAKABRI a odidi ma me bidi a metimi a kirem am of atiase say ofa odidi am bidi
na team
enti say bibia ba beboa ye E-Levy beboa ye nyina sa Ghana fo na boa me asetene ma ye fede a ofa ya nyintum de da bia me kana mekoso aka ne say na obekọ UK say wo kwa akọje ibesia a wo no obesia na ode bo no ofa taxes no agege free ni man ho ene wa manage ni ye ene wonya bidi bo besia enti ekwan papa wonso betimi afa so wonya bi ne say wonso befa ne kwan na ofa so ne so na emom de hia kese the management of the fund me say cabinet this for ya agene omeko demonstration and come support them if say omudede omoye ni nyina about say the transparency ye pese ye hunu and what the mobilization of the money no and how the money will be put to use if that is and this for the omoye na me come support them because there are so many instances omaya yetimu yaje tax said ye tax the akoto microphone the ama ni tfm aye wie ye no microphone no yanto ama ni tfm ho enti mumwa na mun raise legitimate concerns bi site aban no maye hunu finance ministry and writing everything down this 7 billion a year hwehwe no how are we going to spend it office man na be running the first of that are money no e dey any dey e pese e dey ye wi a tambe na start project cry ye se e dey ye no tambe na be accountability to sikana yaje no if this is the NDC and talk about and some of us will support them big time because of our might be any sick as a moon, no mining coso. This will be a Timia can the album, Timicon Hobo Sandia. I then yes, young Canadian no be my hobby, CB. So that is my view on the E-Levy. Mijini here say, yes, you bet me a the album and kakran. Na ye dia building your mine, be a fair, said you been my own modiano. Last week, that mean you're normal about Yajitum, he admitted, say, I'm mindful from being building on my mind for fair. And the other thing, dear, yes, honey, money be. The American say, Ghana for, and ya wabotre. I buy when ya Jumboni be also the best stressing Ghana for. Enti, so where convenient in buyer, if you are seeing a dano, offer Ghana pay any of Maya or China mind for free a water. Ghana ni omaya oma ayi free electricity. Ghana ni omaya wonu anu ni man mind for na omo live by your friend say bade. Ofa say bade oti ase. Onu okwadwuma na dana okwopo ya na atua nika. Ana say wankoso aka ye na onidi. To say there be mo safro no a ye de mo hye dem for 14 days no. Aban no absorb e no anu ne de amamo for 14 days. Na NDC need to make transaction say ya de bone. Simply because say enye wono ne hunu saa nimdie ni nyansa ne de saa de ne baaye mesere Ghana fo bi mu ma yenya botre ema mampani Akufo-Addo ɛne na mamuo apapa a wɔde ato fam a wɔhyehyɛ no ɔfa sɛ wohwɛ sɛdeɛ project no a yɛde atoto akwan mu na ɛfɛ no a mɛtumi aka si so dua sɛ ɔfa 1D 1F ɛyɛ the game changer. Industrialization is the game changer. The Ghana phone nyina agye atum emere bi beba offer E-Levy o friend deben tax o boiler tax o toilet tax o urinal tax o offer ne nyina e be free mu e yetimi ayeye niam yie na Ghana phone nyina som se baby o man ne ba bedru ne industrialization is the way to go. Mo man nyina nyintum ne industrialize Ghana besi akra ye nkompe ne enfam mie bi mfidi nyuma na mabunu nyadwuma ya ofa nipa dodo ni nyadwuma ya taxi tua obi abetua me de ayemi krom dwaso kwan dwaso bogun kwanta kwan a ene wonam so a ayi friends ayi saloon kan timi mfa so age 4x4 ne trotro yi ene your friend say tractor yensu ye betimi ayeyen de ayeye yankasa ene ya bobo esika no ene de aye enti mesere Ghana fo nya botre aban we de ne mapapa ato foma the yenyina nya botra mampani akufo ado aban ane ni ministers oni omo run the affairs of this nation offer emre papa bi de animu ba e de ahoto bebre yenyina ebedum pempenso bi E-Levy ni kura Ghana fo mampani bega se ye de achamo simply because yenso yetimi aboye homode abedum pempenso a the management of our finances no the transparency aba sa tumadi ni mu said there be a metre fi dikesu isu America no the Singapore industrialization as almost every Malaysia industrialization as almost every of ayaya nuanom China foi and ngitingiti foi and net diamo my powers in industrialization enuma bia adoso ho ama omonso my mano etimi anya enuma ye amenkrofo asabisika ba omonsam no edoso sei so they have become so powerful. Okay. Enti de yesre Ghana say Ghana for ne so momoye na yentimi ndane Ghana sebre enje ne say China.
And would you support the NDC to call for accountability on the E-Levy?
Why not? Offer not only even the E-Levy. Ade bia ye so mine sika ade aye bia no there should be accountability. Okay, say obi aye dwuma no anya dwuma ne not because me party tia ba munti meka to se yemfa nche no. So obi aye dwuma na sika fa ne nsase ne wadi a e wose ye de ne gina mra no ne mra ne ne di. Okay, na yense na ho e ma se bi me a menya adwuma ne bia meya menya nya bi ne yi for tire ma me bia me nso ma hu se de matoto me ne ma na me de afa.
Okay, Amalba, this issue about Adrasafo perceived, and I said, would I say, okay, direct threats of deselecting her from the MPP stable, no? What do you make of it?
I mean, just you free baby, I mean, and a kid.
I said, about what time?
I mean, you are some.
Oh, but there's a 7 minutes now. And what the immediate and we now so I said, I'm there. Come on,
we are talking about transparency. COVID-19 by Ghana phone you and if you mean cancel some new Ghana phone himself 2020 budget, the 2021 budget, presented to Parliament on behalf of the President by senior or the saying the Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, Honorable Chairman Sabonshu. We introduce you to cover it. We say Honorable Kojo upon Kroma on Joy News or say buying Boka 19 billion. Therefore, government need to introduce taxes to cover that. We are talking about taxes among them. The money about us way, including baller tax and NHIL motum, VAT motum, baller tax money about. And also what can I say? Bobo said the Bayer project. Can project back come Bobo said the Bayer. Tema interchange, Tema or the say runabout interchange. Motorway runabout project. Pokuasi Obichebi Lamte. NDC secured funds for those projects before leaving office. And you know it. The one you just got to know some from basically they want to miss. And you're part of Busia President Mahama boy, 54 billion and I'm substitute. And you're part of it. Who buy a much Busia over 200 billion? They bought Namodia Yamosia. You have not been able to render accountability to the people of Ghana in relation to over
$77 billion
Agaza 3 minutes.
Do you support calls for Adwa Safo's this election?
When it comes to Adwa Safo, over. Akwai Central Fianoma. Ofana wafa mushu uja nso waja asrade.
And you shouldn't forget to say the jealousy is the last class to attend before becoming a witch.
Coming from who? That jealousy, no. What a jealousy.
There's a who jealous just after it is the last class to attend before becoming a witch.
Over a white coat, no.
About the address of what the
over a white coat.
It's so interesting. It's so interesting.
Now, what's it? Address of what on the side of the story.
The side of the story, no. Yentini, what direct.
One-sided.
The 18 allegations. Or say Uhiawe, or say Uhiawe. Or say. But no one can say the Niati on TikTok as I was our. And
how did you make of it?
Can you offer? Let me name say, can you pick more? They were TikTok MPs. Of course. TikTok MPs. These are people that are so much in Parliament. Say, yeah, more man penny for no boom. I feel a boom.
There's a TikTok and then says MP could be.
Hey, over. Was saying the time in a time now soon.
A boom come where we are. A more child, every short chain. Every for more to Nadaho. Over there, make half hour the same. Revelation now, Honorable Can Japan about Bekan radio. So no. BNI, CID, and the Office of the Special Prosecutor must take interest in this matter.
Okay,
that 120,000 Ghana cedis, you know, he must be investigated. And mind you, on the chief of staff account, this matter will not die.
Who must be investigated?
And I can watch him.
Offer. That's it. You know, can be he must be investigated. I mean, when you patrol can as I'm saying investigated or not. Now, Sebius, Honorable Kennedy Japan, or Bessie about chief of staff for the Akoma Draza for and no if I obey. No, maybe it's awesome. There's a busy about no coin or the Akoma Draza can also if I obey. Offer on the issue of Adjoa for the GD is a and also the Adjoa Safo. Safo, and yes, Safo. Since Safo in sending my DNA Safo. I know.
If I'm Mammy Sarah.
And there's Sarah and them in Safo. Now, I offer. Media have a crack a simple in your parliament in our uncle. No. And you imitate interview. I'm saying, Omuamuha as a piece of Nana. Omoko constituency 1 year man for Kokasa. Now, her frustration a one crofumu over Omo MP or Muna. It's a problem. Over a problem. Now, selection, but it's a prime minister because selection are working.
Suggestion say you be deselected.
And I'm better Metias, yes, I deselection or Mokano. I say prime minister, you be deselecting another day.
I'm saying, be a part in the because unrepresented MPPBM in Parliament.
Me, many years at this time here, there's no way say MPP party because unrepresented at the and a minimum parliamentary procedures are a bit me in a free hole. So, young by election. I don't know any friend say procedure be a homosa. Now, the year can say, there be a dress of phobia so tia. Say MPP now 1%.
No, OT, but you see, I know, Wajai.
Is your TikTok?
Oh, Debbie, come on. You know, OT for the first 90 minutes.
Oh, okay. Of anti the American say, baby, will be as won't take will be better or for now on the Obafana call. One can say, the MPP na only yen at Hata. The people of Kwabinya et Wabamano. The uncle represent almost of a 10 year. Who in election you don't represent your party. You represent your people. Kwabinya, the largest constituency in Ghana. In terms of numbers, almost say, I thought that no more so much TV, no more share, almost public gallery, our parliament, no more MP. For some time now, a problem. Maybe crusade now may call it for a different. My problem is that President Akufo-Addo should sack Adjoa Safo from gender ministry. If the Honorable Kennedy Japan air can deny it true. Say all demand this year man say be deputy majority leader. I don't think no go parliament no. Is that true? But they are no.
Honorable a friend is say can Japan.
Now what you know so
And I'm say of hey. There will be from behind the can do as a for sema. You beg doubt it. Honorable Canada Japan. What it na sama or nan send the amane buofua or kasa about a joasafono. Or say me sacrifice the campaign ma. And ne Ghana for me no make asa do me kwa binyani di matem.
Ati ateni ni bi.
There be no ono aye di na tem na te na fa me na meti ana aye de. Do ono fa de hono wate.
Nana ya eka compassionate leave as anything.
Of a mentiaze.
The young koshe.
One aye lawyer ni.
I mean just a compassionate leave. Ubi a no when you miscarriage, which are no baby in and for depression. None a baby, man 10-year-old, go to Dre undergoing surgery in the US. Now I could have papa in chain, no bar one time about in chain, and she said, and no my year, a slim penny for he has was slow my ye, and man penny for no happiness with the amano. It did do a bit so or no so no. Yen share difficult times are almost the same.
But I say, offer the old canning answer bit me possible. Also, the different revelation ever. Yeah, okay. The address of phone as someone was a catcher Ghana for the problem I all go through near. It will be good for her. So no one can sabe babonte, no the Buama Ghana for. No be Ghana for was a month fan say initially. Mama man who knew me go through.
And I know also Saba as at Nano Yawada. Now when the finance minister conclude BB as a Oba Ghana. And now yasa yasa the normal sound
and I made say
she's so depressed.
Offer. See, Mamma can't crib
to own any banner home.
And then the banner some kind of person may can't see here. But at all some challenges you need to take a tough decision. Tajwa Southeast challenges I will go through CCN for over a year.
8 months.
Oh, 8 months. And yasam ketwa for 8 months.
Over a year.
Almost a year number Sameka. 8 months. Now, maybe it is a gender ministry, no? Of a to hold.
Oh, Cecilia Abra
Obi ate. But the thing is that any Cecilia Abra
is the president, you know, and so a compassionate. Keeping the circumstances.
A whole issue now of our day banase. But what I'm saying is that
one can be shame. Do better and say radio, so you can say, yeah, you know, as deputy leader, will be for a deputy leader now. Is it fair on that?
Offer reforms now, you know. Reforms on me in the parliament and addressing on your ways on my reforms.
Ubi a mona mania.
Or send on your way.
Yeah, you know.
That be a permission be a simple question. Say, or send on your way. A leadership for parliament, and also more reforming the full.
British Ghana for and the constituency especially.
Exactly.
Or can be
that is me one problem. He should come out and speak to his people. Her people, sorry.
Because majority of them still support her. Until it becomes imperative. So that
is the point. But so abandon almost. No, dear. Of a new day,
who do partnering into hostage. It is a Siano, one man about who offer one say E-Levy.
Offer the Sabi. If you phone and once in a peer free with demo Baba community put on what to man, a 2 things, it does say what that demo woo, and as we Jan in a demo.
And as a Kobe,
and as walk of a bonde, abajo. The Malaba Pepano. Offer it, I can say. The Baya, young Ghanaian speculators, a be a no. Ebi ana bonde, ebi ana sabe, waja onan no. Wa bra bonte ne ka kire Ghana for say.
The consequence better than cases here.
And no, any yehwehwe.
That TikTok ni nya na asem o. Ache
videos na eba bonte ni na nya ne.
Ache nya na asem.
Sir.
She's so depressed.
Because me the thing is the thing is ba ku no se ni papa afutu no demand the current one.
And obi on TikTok baby
because me na me bisa say wo hwe enuma wo to a na enuma so far watoto amate nyina dan na Hamilton nyum motivational song ni ade
she's so depressed
something to maybe motivate herself but offer yentil problem as e be that awachi
and yasha
yentil problem na say we don't know what is happening to yet me internet mani nye until so baba bontia be ka say we anyway but offer even that I member of parliament. Man penny for ministry ni mo me ko do me pedima ye.
Sir, your friend say Sisina Abra power ho.
I want me call out as deputy.
Okay. Your first dan for man na ko jo ye bua. Gaso this year preocupe.
Over. Unu so man pina kufa do aban. Woni me nua na ken ni ye kwa.
Okwa first vice chairman.
Yes.
Of an man ya gozi.
Omo man adwuma. Adwuma na dos, omo man bi ye. And so was say for the gender ministry of Krampo. So far a man ahead ho. But now so ye dey ko wa obey the salary job dey.
At the forms are
open ministry na kwa kontra. Form no.
Forms ya ho.
What so dey be dey age ho. Of all them say near